Bag Creations. I hope everyone has had a great week. Today I'm gonna make Luna Lovegood's one. I'm gonna make the second one that she has, the one that looks like a tulip. So without any more talking, let's get started. So if you want to see a more detailed version of how I prepare the metal rod, you can watch my other wand tutorials. But anyways, I googled and Luna Lovegood's wand is 33.25 centimeters. So I cut my metal piece to 32 centimeters, so I have a little bit to go on. And now I'm just going to start adding the clay to it in the same way I added the clay on the snake wand. And I'm just going to add a clay piece around the rod. And I'm just going to start squeezing it on the top, working myself downwards. And once I've gotten a nice thin layer, I want it to be really thin, or else the one is going to look bulky. I'm just going to squeeze off the top. And once I have it squeezed on, I'm just going to roll it on the bench and get it even more nice and smooth. So now I just rolled out my clay on the wand. Up at the end is a little bit narrow, and then it goes a little bit thicker until about 17 to 18 centimeters. And in this area around 18 to 19 centimeters, this is just guessing because I haven't really seen the real one with my own eyes. So around 18 to 19, I'm just going to add a piece of clay, and I'm going to do more details on it later on, but I just want to let you know that this part goes a little bit thick, then a little bit thinner again. And I just went with that almost to the bottom of the wand. And I'm going to work on the end shaft after I baked it once, so don't worry about that part yet. But I'm just going to add this around and then cut off the excess. And on this part now, I'm just going to sculpt this into the tip, just dragging it around. And that is the beginning of a little sort of ball detail that is there. And I'm just going to work it into the one down here as well. You can just roll it in between your fingers on the bottom part, just to sort of edge off that area. So after you're pretty much done with the details, I'm going to work a little bit more on them. You just want to smooth out this part. You can put it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then you're going to work on the rest of the details after that. So what I'm just doing now, out of the oven and it's cooled down, I'm just going to sand over it to smooth out some small imperfections. And I can also alter the shape a little bit by sanding a little bit more where I think is a little bit too much. And I can additionally add on like more pieces later on if I want to. But first I'm just going to sand it with a coarse grid, and I'm just going to go into a smoother and smoother grid after that. Additionally, if you want to keep some of the sort of sanded texture, you can, because it looks a little bit like wood, but that's entirely up to you. But it will look sort of like a wood grain going upwards. Then after I'm done sanding, I'm just going to wipe off the excess powder with some wet cloth. Then I'm just going to wipe my working surface with the same one, and then I'm ready to continue on with the sculpting. So adding on this piece, you just want to squeeze it on. It's a really thick piece, and you just want to get that on before you start sculpting any details. Now I just added the clay on the end of the wand, and now I'm just going to make 4 indents on the top. Like this, and I'm going to start shaping the 4 cuts into tulip leaves on the top. Just going to use my fingers and squeeze them together and work my way around the entire wand. So once you're finished with the top, you want to take a tool and drag 4 straight lines down the entire way until you get to the narrow point. And you just want to increase the pressure a little bit all the time and smooth it out on the edges so it looks like a nice ridge going down. And you just want to repeat that for all 4 leaves. So once I'm done with the tulip shape, I'm just going to add the final piece to the wand, which is a little circle detail around the bottom of it. And I'm just going to measure up my clay and cut off the excess. And I'm just going to start sculpting that a little bit tighter to the flower, and then I'm just going to smooth it a little bit towards the thin part here. So now that it's finished in the oven, I just sanded it a little bit more just to smooth out the texture so it would match the one I sanded earlier. And now I'm just going to paint over with some brown mixed with a little bit of white and loads of black. And I'm just going to cover the entire wand with this base coat before I continue on with the rest of the colors. So after I just covered it in the brown, black, white, I'm just going to have another mix with a little less black in it. So more brown. And I'm just going to brush that over, and you're almost going to dry brush it on, which means like almost no paint on the brush. And you're just going to start building that up on the top points, avoid the cracks and where it's going inwards. And you're just going to build it up all over the wand and try not to get too much on the tip and upwards. So mixing in some more orange and a little bit of white, I'm just going to continue dry brushing a little bit lighter and a little bit lighter, just to make a little difference from the creases and the top parts. And that is pretty much it. It's not a detailed paint job, you just want to try to make it look like wood. So that is the finished project for today. I hope you all enjoy. Make sure to leave any suggestions on future projects in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching.